What is up, everyone? I am Joe DeHoyos. I'm host of Beyond the Woodline. Real quick before we get started, I always like to talk to you guys about some of the stuff that I have going on. Uh, for those who don't know, I am the executive director of the JRG, which stands for the Jevening Research Group. Um, if you guys are interested in joining the team, shoot me an email beyond.woodline@gmail.com. We'll get you guys started. We've got teams in New York State, Florida, Maine, uh, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Michigan, California, Oregon, New Mexico. Of course, here in Texas, where I'm at. I know I always forget a couple of other states, but yeah, if you're interested, man, just shoot me an email. We'll get you guys started. If you're in a state we don't have a team, you can certainly start your own team there. Um, if we set you up with somebody, we do vet you. We will vet them because we don't. Unfortunately, there are some crazy people in this world, so we try to take care of everybody. So, but we always ask you to take care of yourself and to research the researcher. Just don't go out with anybody. And I think that's pretty standard for any field that you're in. And then also, real quick, I've got a couple of REM pods behind me that I use on my investigations. I get them from a lady off of Etsy. Her name's Stephanie. Steffi's Creation. Her link is in my bio or in this description. I don't get paid. She doesn't sponsor me. She doesn't give me any kickbacks. She just builds really great stuff, and I like it. So if you guys are interested, go check her out. You get 15% off if you use this discount code Woodline. Like I said, I'm not getting anything for it, so go check her out, guys. With all that being said, I know you guys don't tune in to hear me talk all night long. I have with me tonight Urban Knights Paranormal team. They're out all the way across in the UK currently. So they're doing this as a favor to me. It's nighttime where they're at. I'm sure they're ready for bed and ready to get up Monday morning. So thank you guys for joining the show, man. I do appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, my man.
Yeah, man. If you guys don't mind, kind of go around the little circle there that you guys are in and give me your name and what got you into this crazy field.
Yeah, my name is Billy. What got me into it is I had an experience when I was much younger, uh, which just sparked my interest in hopefully proving, life after death sort of thing. And I've been into it ever since.
My name's Andy, and I used to get told ghost stories by my dad when I was a kid. And I got really fascinated by one story, which was a legend in the area that I used to live in. It was like a ghost train, and it was a tragic event, a true story. And we went out for a walk on this track, this old railway track, and we saw like a figure go by. And ever since I've been curious about it.
My name's Scully. I basically just got into it because of all the experiences that I've had and the houses we've had and stuff like that, which is quite interesting and unexplainable.
Yeah, I saw you guys on TikTok and you have some great content. So everyone who's watching, man, go check them out, man. You guys will have a blast with them. They got some good stuff. And, so when I saw it, I was like, man, I got to have these guys on, So, like I said, man, you guys got some great stuff, man. So congratulations on that. You guys doing great with that. Um,
Cheers.
yeah. So Billy, so what actually happened? What was that event that took place?
Well, I say it was when I was much younger. When I was at home with my mum, it started with just like knocking on the wall, and it got louder and louder as it got towards where my mum's bedroom door was. We'd have incidents where our stereo system would turn itself on. You have crackling coming through it, and it wasn't even plugged in. The dogs, the heckles, the back of the dogs was up, sort of thing, on occasion. And I was laid in bed one night, and there was only me and my mum at home, and I heard somebody shout my name twice, sort of thing, which obviously, I think I'd have been maybe 10, 11, something like that. So that it did spook me, but we've had all sorts of happenings in that house. The kettle would turn itself on and boil up, sort of thing. And I think to get past it, my mum used to make a standing joke, you know, next time she's going to leave the cups ready for it. You know, it happened. It just happened that much. You know, my uncle, he came up to stay one night, and he slept on the couch in the living room, and he said he was woken by a loud noise, like a bang. The way he described it, it was like a cupboard being thrown across the room. He said it was that loud. And then he heard what sounded like a footstep and somebody dragging a leg behind him, sort of thing. When he turned the light on, you know, there was nothing there whatsoever. You know, so yeah, it's just from then on, you know, I don't know whether it's striving to, you know, to get proof. You know, I think because that's what we exist now as a group for. We exist, you know, to bring proof, sort of thing, you know, and I think it, like I say, it stemmed from that, and it's just absolutely something I've been interested in for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I think if I was your uncle, I'd be pretty spooked. You know.
He was very spooked.
Did I? Did you guys ever see anything, shadows or figures or apparitions?
Um, uh, my mum was taking pictures around, and somebody took the camera now, started taking pictures where my mum was. And in, I think, 3 of the pictures that my mum was in, there was a mist around it. And in one of the mists, you can make out, it's like an old, like it looks like an old man with a flat cap on, you know. And so that, I think that happened 3 times. And then it happened again to my mum some years after, when she was staying at this pub. It was caught in a mirror. Sort of thing, you know, a very similar sort of thing. So whether that is the same spirit that was there with her then, you know, we've no idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's very strange for it to happen. You know, one time, much less a couple more times after that. It's being strange.
This went on. I think this went on for about 10 weeks at the house,
Oh wow.
and you know, whether it was a coincidence or not, it stopped. I think there was one bang shortly after my mum's dad died. You know, we got one bang, and you know, that was it after that.
Hmm. Wow.
So whether it was a build up to that or not, we don't know.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, that's interesting to think about it like that. Yeah. What about you, Andy? What was that moment that really uh, validated something for you?
It was my very first investigation with my very first team that I developed about 13 years ago.
Oh wow. Okay.
And we went into a place called the Rank Hovis building, which is no longer there now. It's completely been flattened. And so we just went in and was just looking around, chattering away to ourselves. We didn't really call out to anyone or anything if it was in there. And so we got into the main hall, and someone told me to, I don't know, just told me to stay in a straight line where I was walking. And so I stayed in this straight line, got down to the end, and to my right, there was a drop that would have probably seriously hurt me. But so I turned around, took a picture, and there was like I don't know, a mass of orbs that was like creating sort of a figure. So that kind of threw me a little bit. And the other part about in that building was climbing the stairs to like see what the banging door was all about. And we checked every room going up them stairs, and there was no one up there. But on the video replay, we could certainly hear an older gentleman saying hello. And then as we got down to the bottom of the stairs, all 3 of us was in the main area, and we could hear footsteps following us down the stairs.
Hmm. And what was the history of that building?
And as far as I'm aware, I didn't really look into the history back then. It was where they used to make the bread. I think that was
Yeah, the Ranko.
the Rankovis, where they used to make bread and stuff. I'll say stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very large building.
Mm.
And I don't remember the gentleman on the end. What was his name again?
Scully.
Scully. Okay. Yeah. What was the moment for you, Scully, that told you there's something else after life?
There was a few incidents that really piqued my interest. Like not long after my uncle passed away, we asked like, "Can you show us a sign that you're still here?" And I don't know if you've got them over there, but there's like on your banister, you've got these railings that you hang your clothes over,
Okay. Yeah.
and they fell, but ended up in the middle of the floor, and it was just like you can't like put them there if they're just fallen.
Right.
So to me, that was like a sign. And then when we had the house quite a while ago, when about 20 something years ago, there was baubles getting thrown, ornaments getting thrown, like straight past my sister's head, and it piqued my interest.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say that was piqued my interest too on what the hell was going on. Something getting thrown by my head. Yeah. And how long have you guys been together as a team?
Nearly a year. It'll be a year in January.
Okay. And how did you guys meet?
I've known these two guys for a very long time.
That's my dad, and that's my brother.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Adopted brother.
Yeah,
He's adopted.
yeah, but
brother.
I'm not going to introduce
Yeah.
him as an adopted brother. He's just my brother.
Well, that's cool, man. So this is a little family thing going on there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there is more of us. I think there's about 7 now, I think 8 now.
About
Yeah.
7.
That's good, man. That's good. So, what made y'all decide? You know what? Let's form a team. Let's do this together.
No, that was me.
Okay.
Basically, I was just sat at work. I did a ghost hunt with a group in England called Haunted Happenings. They really are an amazing group. And we went around a place called Newsham Park Hospital. And it was kind of me and my wife did that. And then I got back home and thought, you know what, I want to get back into doing this. So I sat there at work and I formed a team with like my wife and my best friend. And so we came up with Urban Nights.
And what was y'all's first investigation as a team?
That was what's it called again? Lord Land Building.
Yeah, the Lord Land.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we did a free tester one, didn't we? And then
Yeah.
our main first investigation was the Lord Line.
And how did that go?
a lot better than what I thought.
It did go better, didn't it? But I think that was what really, it set us off on it, because I say it's like, we're cutting our teeth at places like that.
Okay.
Considering we was a very young team at the time. But what we tend to find when we've been at the Lord Lamb is a lot of the times we don't pick anything up visual ourselves or hear anything. A lot of the times, we've got it on camera when we come home and we're going through all the footage and such. We've had one where we was at the Lord Land. There was myself and Nicky, and his wife. We was going up these stairs, and there was a figure stood behind us on the stairs. And nobody picked that up while we was there. That was obviously seen on camera afterwards, sort of thing. So that's what's took us back to Lord Land. Numerous times we've been back there now.
And then boom, moving.
Yeah, we've got a little Teddy, our little mascot. He's got a cat ball in his belly. We call him Boo. The viewers named him Boo. And we've had, I think, 3 incidents where he's actually moved. And one of that was at the Lord Line. His head was nodding and then his leg came up, sort of thing, So we've had more on camera than we have sort of visual. Yeah, there's Boo.
Okay, I like that. And there's Miss Michelle. She says hello, and Anne says hi, son. I had the priest in 3 times to bless the house.
Yes, we did. Yeah, that's my mum.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, we did. The priest come in to bless the house. Um, there was no concrete reasoning for it. We only put it down to the fact of it happening, like I say, and then stopped just after we lost my granddad.
Okay. And Levi says, hello, everyone. Hey, thanks for joining the show. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Um, yeah, so, your mom mentioned that the priest, are you guys religious?
I do come from a religious family,
Okay.
Catholic. It's not. I don't follow it as such myself, but my family are, devout Catholics,
Okay.
sort of thing. Which is why my mum decided to bring the priest in.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I understand that. I'm a Catholic myself. I don't go to church. I know I probably should, but I just don't. Maybe I'll start doing that again. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I got to ask you, what jersey are you wearing?
There it is.
I don't know. I'm
Got
gonna be fair. I don't know.
Okay. What? Okay. I didn't know it was a cowboy jersey. Is that Irving, 88.
Yeah,
Cowboy
Lam
fan.
88.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got a rival with them with them being here in Houston. So I've been looking at that jersey. I'm like, that looks like a cowboy jersey. I go change that jersey and come back. No, I'm playing. I'm
I'll
serious.
keep it covered. How's that?
uh, but we did beat them last week, so that's okay. That's all right.
You said so.
Yeah, I'm safe now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. Yeah. So back to the paranormal. Yeah, there's there seems to be um, a line that some people will draw saying that you can't be. Uh, your mom says shame on you. There should there should be. I mean, there seems to be some people who draw lines saying you can't be religious and be involved in the paranormal. You know, um, I think you can. I don't. I just think you can. This. Priests go to bless houses. Priests go to perform certain task, if you will, to get rid of spirits. So if priests can do it, why can't we do it?
Yeah.
Why can't Christians in general be paranormal? And I just don't like when I hear that kind of talk that, well, if you're religious, you can't be investigating the paranormal. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, I've already had it said by several members of my family, that we shouldn't be disturbing, the dead. They should be left to rest and such as. And I said, look, we don't go out to disturb. If they're out there, then we've not disturbed them. We just happen upon them, sort of thing, and give them an opportunity. I suppose, and obviously it gives us, the proof that we need,
Right.
to be able to put out there, sort of thing. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with it if you're religious, you know, um, going out there and doing anything paranormal.
Right. Yeah, I think that if anything, it should validate for people that there's life after death, or I don't know if you want to call it life, but there's something else that happens after we pass. And as far as disturbing them, I think if they don't want to communicate with you, that then they won't. So it's pretty simple. Like I can have someone knock on
Yeah,
my front door right now. If I don't want to answer it, I'm not going to answer it. They're not disturbing me by knocking on the door. They're disturbing me if they kick my door down. Uh,
yeah,
so I think if you go to these locations and uh, yeah, some teams might have activity from the time they enter to the time they leave, and sometimes some teams when they walk in they get nothing. And like I said, if they want to communicate with you, they will. If they don't, they won't.
exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what's some of your best evidence that you've captured?
Well, that's going to be pretty recent, that, isn't it? We did a friend's flat, very recent, and from the moment we were setting up, we was getting activity. We was getting the REM boxes going off, the cat balls going off, and then, like I said, we didn't find this certain piece out until we got back home and viewed the evidence on the thermal imager. It took a picture, and it was at the head end of this lass's bed, and there was no mistaking it was a figure there. And what we've done is we've looked backwards and forwards on other footage from the same wall, and there's just nothing whatsoever. So I would say that's been really a pretty good one, hasn't it?
I'd say Little Switch would be one of our top ones. It's like a nature reserve in our area. It's called Little Switch, or I can't remember the other name for it now. But we went there on a photograph that was sent to us by, obviously, a source we won't give out details to. And she sent us a picture of what looks like a little girl in the background. So we went there to Little Switch the first time, and we caught an EVP of what sounds like a little girl saying either my uncle or my ankle. And then we went back again with some more of our team members, and the other team members caught a picture of what looks like a child amongst the trees.
Wow.
Well, we took Nana on an investigation at the graveyard, didn't we? She's just commented it there. Someone actually swore at me while I was trying to communicate with it.
Oh yeah, we've been sworn at.
Yeah. Really?
Yes, we've definitely been sworn at.
I always find that fascinating because people, talk about that all the time too, right? That, they'll do EVPs and they'll hear, they're being sworn at, or even, live, right? They'll actually hear the disembodied voice or they're being sworn at. I don't think it's necessarily that they don't want you there. They're just, you hear that old saying that if they were, an asshole in life, they're probably going to be an asshole after life, and, so, and then maybe they just are tired of, or just trying to be, I guess, recognize that they're still around, and maybe they're frustrated. They don't know what's going on, so maybe they're just angry at that.
I think the best that we have had, and it was on live, so, and I was, thankful it was on live, and we had numerous comments. We'd gone to a graveyard, it's old church, and we'd set up our equipment, we put Boo on this gravestone, and he started moving, and we had people, it's definitely moving, you got activity, and just the comments, that was coming, you're doing a fantastic job, and and people just absolutely loved it, but what we say is we don't really set out to to force people to come and watch. We only use certain pieces of equipment. There's quite a few that we won't use, and I think we've caught some phenomenal things just by using a lot of it is basic equipment. We've caught some really good findings.
Well, we've pretty much all had our names said, haven't we?
We have,
like the spirit box and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. I like to keep it pretty simple myself too. I don't have a lot of equipment, but I like to keep it pretty simple. I actually like digital recorders, and doing EVP sessions. I love that, because almost it's really hard to kind of misinterpret what you're getting on that, so that's one of my favorite things to do. So you said you went to a graveyard, right? And that's another thing that's kind of a hot button topic for a lot of people, going to cemeteries, going to graveyards. I don't mind doing it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I mean, what's your opinion on that?
My personal opinion is I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it at all. Like I said, I don't think we're not disturbing spirits. if they're there and they want to interact or communicate with us, then it's always their choice. We never force things, do we?
No.
We always give it time. And if we get anything, obviously we react to it. But we've done, I think, is it about 4 or 5 graveyards, I think.
Yeah, I'm still quite skeptical.
Yeah. So it's something we will do. Andy, he's not so keen on doing graveyards.
Yeah. I've been to some old graveyards, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it because they probably don't get a lot of visitors. The older the graveyard, they probably don't get a lot of visitors. And again, if they want to interact, they want to communicate, then they will, right? If they don't want to, they don't have to. I don't try to force anything either, and I certainly don't try to provoke anything either. So I kind of go in there. I think as long as you're respectful, no matter where you're at, and you're coming from that kind of a place, I think I don't see anything wrong with doing any of that stuff.
I mean, we've had some where you've been attacked, haven't you? You've been scratched and whatnot. So we've had some.
I got pushed out first.
Yeah, we've had some pretty sort of nasty encounters on occasion.
Yes,
but it's not deterred us from going straight back out there.
So what happened to you, Scully, when you got scratched? What was going on there?
Which time I've been scratched about? Well, I've been attacked about 11, 12 times now.
Why?
They don't like you. Got attacked at the log line and tried pushing me down the stairs. That was caught on camera.
Yes.
We went up to a place called Ridgely Asylum. I got punched in the back there. Grayleys, I've been scratched about 3 times. Just while I'm just asking questions, and that just seems to attack me.
Oh, wow.
Which time?
When was the last time we went?
So why do you think that is?
Yeah.
So why do you think that is, Scully? Why do you think you get picked on?
Truthfully, I think it's because I can see him.
Okay.
And I don't think they like that fact.
Oh, I see what you're saying. They don't want you seeing them, and you can. And is this something that you've always been able to do?
In a way, yeah, but I haven't actually paid attention to it. When I was a kid, I could see it was sort of a black figure, no face, and it stopped after somebody died, didn't it? That I knew, and I could always see that, and then I just ended up seeing what I believed was my grandma about 9, 10 years after she passed, and it turns out it wasn't. But it freaked me out because that was the first time I'd actually noticed that I could see him.
So have you guys ever been like legit scared? And you guys can go in any order.
I've been startled, but not scared. I've gone off on my own in some abandoned buildings, and I've not been scared, but startled I've been.
I've been scared to the point I've walked out of a location.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What location was that?
That was is it Ridgely.
Okay. So what scared you?
Weirdly, I got possessed.
Okay.
And I could see everything that he used to see. I had his memories. I could remember his family, what the building used to look like, and it petrified me to the point I asked to leave.
Okay. So what happens in that moment? Because you hear that it's not like a totally common thing, but it's common enough to where you can kind of hear that from time to time, right? But what happened to you in that moment, and how did you know what was going on and still have enough sense to know to get out?
I only knew when my brother told me, because it was kind of like a completely change of personality.
We had 2 team members.
Yeah, we had two members of another team, and even they could tell like it wasn't me, sort of thing. And eventually, I can't remember what happened after, but once it sort of left, reality hit hard, and that's when I sort of freaked out, and I was like, I need to get out of here.
And how long did it take you to get over that?
Pretty much the same night, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it. I think it was a wee while longer.
No.
Before you properly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but
Because I was debating whether to quit the team or not.
Indeed.
And just before we went to bed, I thought, you know what? Nah, if I can survive that, I'm not backing out.
Yeah. And were you guys with him on that same night?
Yeah.
And so how did that affect you guys?
Well, I've never ever experienced anything like that. You know, and you could see obviously, you know, there was a difference. And I mean, granted, it could have been any one of us that could have happened to. You know, but to be honest, I mean, once he was out of there, sort of thing, you know, and I knew that, you know, he was absolutely fine. I think really it's just about getting him over having that experience,
Yeah.
you know, and still, you know, remaining positive, sort of thing, you know, which absolutely works for you, doesn't it?
Yeah. I know it's an experience I'm thankful for.
And it's like me, I mean, I'm always going on about, you know, your first scare sort of thing, you know, and I know it sounds weird to say, but I'm looking forward to mine. You know, I haven't had a scare yet.
Really? Yeah.
No, nothing scared me right at this moment.
You've been a little bit startled, but not scared.
You know, I think just for that, you know, having that experience, because I think to me, it would make you, I don't know, maybe a better investigator, I think, because you know, you're aware of the levels that this can actually get to.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, like I said, when I say I'm looking forward to it, you know, it's just to have that, you know, that feeling sort of thing, you know, and see what even I would do after having that.
Because me and Andy got the feeling we had to leave Cannock Case, didn't we? When it felt like we was about to be ambushed, but there was nobody there.
Being watched. Yeah. That was a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been startled. I think I was telling you guys, I don't know, I may not have told you, but like when I was married, uh, and then I lived in that house for 5 years. Uh, we moved into this house across the street from my ex-in-laws, and because they were both sick and they were going through illness, so we moved in across the street. That house had remained empty 5 years prior to us. We moved in, and that house was active from day one. And there were only one owners of this house, the original owners. They died in their 90s. My ex-wife knew him uh, her whole life. I knew him for the whole time that I was married. Um, and they were there. I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night one night and I saw the figure of a lady. It's the outline of her. She was wearing a dress. You know, she moved towards me, and I threw a kick. I said, "Get back!" You know, I said a cuss word. You know, but she wasn't trying to scare me. You know, she was. I guess she was just like, "Who's this guy in my bed?" or "Why is this guy in my bed?" or you know, or she knew who it was. And like I said, because I didn't know him for the 18 years that I was married. Um, so maybe she was just, you know, checking on me, or I don't know. But she moved towards me, and yeah, that scared the hell out of me at that time. But so I say it scared me, but it more startled me because right after she disappeared and vanished, I was just like, you know, I knew who it was, and man, I went right back to sleep, you know. So it wasn't like it like scared me to that point, but yeah, that was definitely a startling experience for me. And you know, we were all touched and poked. So besides Scully, have you two ever been touched or poked or pushed or anything?
I've had what felt like fingers going up my spine, like just right up my back. Again, that could have just been maybe me over exaggerating it at the time. but it did feel like fingers just tapping up my back.
Right.
Weird feeling.
Yeah, I've been tapped on my shoulder.
Okay.
You know, to the point. I mean, I actually thought it was Andy's wife who was out investigating with us at the time.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, somebody taps you, and you go, yeah, you know, and then there's nobody there. And, you know, and I realised she was a good 7 or 8 feet away from me. You know,
Yeah.
so obviously it wasn't her.
Yeah. Yeah. I was in the shower one time and I felt like somebody put their finger down my spine in the shower. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, we've had a
So,
lot of new experiences, haven't we?
Oh, yes.
so what kind of EVPs have you guys captured?
Oh, quite a lot.
Numerous, haven't we?
We've had swear words, names.
We've had one where we was in. It was Grey Lee's, wasn't it? When we got the laugh, which is
Yeah.
Grey Lee's was in an abandoned mental health asylum, and we was all in it was in this big room. Well, somebody previous had put like a pentagram on the floor, sort of thing, you know. So anyway, we set our equipment up, and you know, we're just walking around doing our thing, sort of thing, and we put a camera into the room opposite where we was, and it picked up. It was like a witch's laugh. Like it's the only way I can describe it. You know, but somebody said it could have been, you know, a previous person. You know, obviously with, you know, mental health issues.
But there was talks of witches got being
There was
practiced in
indeed.
that there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's pretty.
we picked up voices. I've had my name mentioned numerous times now. You know, it's actually because my nickname's Billy, but my actual name is Malcolm.
Okay.
And we've picked up an EVP my name being said, haven't we? And that, as it stands now, that's our most viewed video.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
But Sandra Pfeiffer said, "Hello, Joe, and Urban Nights Paranormal."
Okay.
Yeah, Sandra's been with me for the longest time. She's I think my longest viewer. Hope you're doing well, Sandra. Thanks for tuning in today. Yeah,
I'll figure hello to Sandra.
Yeah. Hi, Sandra.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, were you gonna say something?
Sorry, mate. Yeah, I'm just in my own little world at the minute. I was going to say the little girl's voice, that was a good EVP that we've got. One at Ridgely, saying wrong turn. We've had quite a few.
Has anything ever, besides the swearing, has anything ever like come across as disturbing?
Yes.
Very recently.
Yeah, very recently at Grayleys, Andy had left his camera in this doorway, and it was about 2 rooms away from where I was doing the lab. And him and Scully went off on their little walk around the building, and I was quite uncomfortable with having Andy's camera so far away from me. And I went over to collect his camera, and just as I did, I heard what I thought might have been a whisper, and I just had to stand up and said, "Hello? No, what did you say?" Sort of thing, and I don't think I quite got what I thought was a response at the time. But yeah, when we played it back, shortly after I asked, "What did you say?" You hear what, in my mind, can only be, it's like a demonic voice. You know, but we just couldn't make out what it's saying. But it does sound like it's possibly demonic.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be kind of disturbing, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the places you guys have investigated, you guys have a favorite?
I'm going to say Grayleys.
Grayleys for you.
Yeah.
Grayleys. That's a bit of a tough one for me. I've got some better. Little Switzers. Yeah, I've got to say Little Switzers, man.
So do you guys stay mainly within your little area to investigate, or do you guys go
You
beyond
like
it?
to travel.
Yeah, we do like to travel, but funds sometimes don't allow that. So we
Yeah.
have to maintain like locally.
I think the furthest we've been is about 130, 140 miles.
Yeah, about that.
Something like that, you know. But we've plans next year for going completely down south past like London, going up to Scotland, and the possibility of going over to Ireland as well.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, but we're also planning in a couple of years to go over to America.
We are indeed. Yes, we want
Yeah,
want to come
do
over.
want to do that, yeah, but again, depends if we can.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, you got to save that money. Save that money, right? Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah.
my best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a particular area that you might want to go to when you come here to America?
I'll just travel, go to all the hot spots.
Yeah.
Yeah, just as many as we can in the time we'll have.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you'll pick Texas, and I'll take you to get some good barbecue.
That sounds like
Absolutely.
a plan. Yeah, that does
Yeah.
sound like a
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, and then maybe we'll even do some bigfooting too. So that'll
That'll
be
be
great.
interesting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd love to do
definitely.
that.
Yeah, I'm up for that at some point. Sounds good.
So do you guys? So like here in America, we do paracons. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what paracons are. They're just like paranormal conventions, right? Do you guys have
Yeah.
one there?
Yeah.
Every
I've
now
seen
and
a
then,
few.
but it's
Yeah.
not
It's not as
very
big.
often.
No, it's not as big as it is in America. I don't think.
Yes, yeah, it seems like every weekend there's a Paracon here, and there's always somewhere to go. Someone's having one, hosting one. I've never been to one. We had one here in Galveston because, uh, so Galveston is like 50 miles from Houston. We're like 50 miles from the coast, and Galveston is like one of the most haunted cities in America. Um, in case you guys didn't know that, uh, we had a big hurricane come through here like in the 1900s. Something like 6,000 people were killed during that hurricane. Uh, and so they're like spirits all over Galveston. Uh, they actually tried to bury some of the bodies at sea, but they got washed back up on shore. It was a mess to say the least. So yeah, Galveston is very very haunted. But they had their first Paracon here in October. I wasn't able to go because I was working, but I there's always something going on here, in America. So maybe one day I'll make one. It's just hard to get to. Like you said, there's always the funds issue, right? And when I get time off, I'm usually in the woods doing the Bigfoot thing. So I'll try to manage my time.
So, well, we try to get out at least once a week if we can.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
To different locations where and when we can, don't we?
Yeah.
I know you said that. I was gonna say, I know you said you did a friend's house one time. Do you do private residence?
Yes, we've done.
Yeah.
Well, you did one on your own, didn't
Yeah.
you? Quite recently, which we've got to go through the footage on that one still.
Which for me was quite interesting because there was a cat ball going off on command. The REM box was just constantly going off. There was like a white light sort of thing that I caught on camera. Because with the camera I've got, I can set it up, connect my phone to it, and I can watch it from a different room.
Oh, nice.
So I was sort of in a different room watching, and I could see it clear as day on the camera.
And you don't have to go into much details, but I guess this is somebody that you know, or did somebody contact you?
Someone that I know through work, she came to me and she was mentioning about all the stuff that was happening to her, sleepless nights and stuff like that. So I had a word with the team, and we organised it with her to go down and do an investigation for her.
Oh, that's
Because
pretty
there was a debate, wasn't there? Because she was having what she reported to me heightened sexual dreams and such as. So there was a debate on whether it was an incubus, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But obviously we've got there, and from the evidence that we've gathered, we don't certainly think it's anything demonic.
Okay.
It just seems like a mischievous ghost.
It seems very mischievous. I mean, it's moved a little figures around, just turned them a little. So I think it's,
Okay.
just thought it's mischievous.
Right. So let me ask you this then, because I know, like you said, that you guys are at least interested in UFOs too, right? Could this be a
Yeah.
visitation thing? Because sometimes with the heightened sexual dreams, that's also one of the things that happens with some of the experiencers who get taken hits. Has that ever crossed your mind, or do you think that's what's going on, or do you think it's strictly
It
paranormal?
didn't actually, no.
No,
It
it's a good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and
it certainly hasn't, but it's something that we can, still approach you about, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go at it from a different point, because we didn't go at it from that point of view, did we?
no, we went out from
yeah,
paranormal.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That just kind of put a little red flag up for me when you said that, because that does happen to a lot of experiencers. Uh, and I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but it's good sometimes to look outside the box. Um,
Yeah.
so and that's where I come from. That's where I got the name of the show, Beyond the Woodline, because I kind of realized, not that I didn't believe in UFOs, I didn't believe in paranormal, because I always did, always have since I was a little kid. But I was such in this box of the Bigfoot world, and being out in the forest, uh, and having things thrown, hearing footsteps, hearing these whispers, and they all get attributed to Bigfoot, right? Bigfoot throws stuff, Bigfoot walks around, Bigfoot, it's called samurai chatter when you hear Bigfoot talk. That's the way it's described. But then I got to thinking, what if it's not all Bigfoot? Like especially like here in the Sam Houston, in a lot of forests, there were a lot of miners and lumberyard, people cutting down trees. Who knows what took place in these days back in the day, and it when men were freaking men, and you didn't mess around, and of course, all this land was Native American land and even land from Mexico, so who knows what happened, 100 years ago. So that's where I got the name Beyond the Woodline, that there was more beyond the woodline, right? Um, and I never really stopped to think about that until like 5, 6 years ago. That maybe not everything that goes on in the forest is Bigfoot. Maybe there's a lot more paranormal stuff that goes on than what people think, And I had to kind of look outside that box and just. Uh, so now I think that a lot of stuff that people pick up is probably actually paranormal, especially when they pick up on their recorders. They hear footsteps, they hear the voices. Uh, I had a friend of mine. He actually has on his recorder that he set out one night uh, listening for Bigfoot. Uh, he has a voice that says nobody, and that's all it says is just nobody, but it's clear as day. You know, I, so it was like I don't think that was Bigfoot saying nobody. I think it was an EVP. I had another friend of mine. He was actually setting up his recorder for the night, and he heard somebody in his ear go psst, just like that, just right in his ear. You know, so yeah, so I think there's a lot more that goes on in the forest than just Bigfoot. Uh,
I guess it all depends on the history of that place as well.
yeah,
I think a lot of it would depend on, like you said, history. Because we had a debate once, didn't we, about what is paranormal and what isn't.
Yeah.
Like obviously residual energy and
Mm.
I think somebody once said, is it a spirit just reliving something it did in its daily life?
yeah,
Is that what you're picking up on? Because I told them a story once. There was this motorway, and there's about 5 different motorists reported to the police that they'd seen this car go off the side of the motorway. Obviously, the police attended, and they couldn't find anything immediate. But yet, these people was quite adamant, that they'd all seen this car go off. They all described the same car, and when they investigated further, the car was actually further down, sort of thing. So the police found the car, and they found the driver obviously being ejected from the car, and he passed. So people say it was strange that so many different people reported the exact same thing. So they would come and they say, "Is that residual?"
right.
So I think a lot of things, because we will always put stuff down to paranormal instantly.
Right.
We'll go back, and if we can debunk anything, then we will.
Like the video we put out originally when we thought we caught a full body apparition.
Yeah, we debunked one of our own videos, and that was how far was that? About 120 miles. You know, we'd gone to an asylum, hadn't we? And we'd got what we hoped and what certainly looked like a full-bodied apparition.
Mm.
And obviously, you know, it sparked a lot of interest, so we went back, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we debunked it. You know,
That's the
found
first
out.
thing we did.
Yeah, we found out exactly what it was, and we put a video out there.
And in that video, we even explained how we managed to debunk it and why we thought it was what we thought it was.
Okay. And what did you think it was?
Well, at first we thought it was like a demonic face, didn't we? Because of the way it was shaped and things.
It looked like a figure in the window, didn't it? And as it seemed, as we was coming closer with the camera, it seemed to move back. You know, so it looked like it was going out of sight, sort of thing. And when we went back, you two went straight to the room, didn't you?
Yeah.
And we found out that it was just like a mark on the wall with a piece of paper
Oh.
over it that formed that shape.
Okay.
Yeah. So we made a video on it explaining how we've managed to debunk it.
Yeah. And that's good that you guys did that. You know, you didn't say, you know what, let's pass it off anyway. You know, probably nobody would have known either way, you know, but it's good that you guys did that. I think that says a lot about your character, you know, and, that you guys just aren't taking pictures and just say, check this out, you know, that you check it out. You know, that's really good that you did. Yeah.
Couldn't do that now.
Yeah.
If we can debunk it, we'll try there and then on the camera as well.
Yeah.
We'll try every sort of like logical explanation to it, and then we'll just have to settle on, you know, we don't know what that is.
Yeah, like Grey Leeds when we went a couple of weeks ago. I had ended up with a mark here, but the jacket I had on came up this way. Yeah. And as I tried to unzip it, it was got sort of like that. So I put that down to the ghost chafing on me.
Okay. Yeah. I had a friend of mine. He had a mark on his back, and it looked almost not as bad as road rash, but you know when you rub up against something, and he had no idea how it got there. And before he came out and said, "Hey, look, I was scratched or I was marked," he went back. He looked at all his video, and on one of the videos, and we probably have all done it. He was scratching his back on the door jamb, you know, and that's where he got the mark from. And you know, so yeah. So you know, and sometimes you do that stuff, and you don't even think about it. You know, you got an itch on your back, and you go rub it, and then you go about your day. But yeah, that's what it was from. And he's like, you know, I'm glad I didn't put this out, you know, because it had been dishonest, you know.
Yeah, we don't like to be dishonest.
Yeah, no, even accidentally, you know. But it was good that he went back and he looked at all his video to see what was going on.
Yeah.
That's what we do. That's why a lot of the times it can take obviously a while to get one of our videos out there. Not only do we've got like 3 or 4 cameras on it at times, haven't we?
Yeah.
You know, but we'll go through it until we're sure enough. You know, and even if there's something we're not too sure on, you know, we'll put it out there and say, you know, well, what do you guys think? You know, but we have come across things that, you know, obviously that I'm pretty certain on, I can say.
Yeah.
You know, things that, you know, genuinely can't be explained. So if they can't be explained, you know, then we'll put that down to like the paranormal sort of thing. You know, if it's not a trick of the light or, you know, or something.
Your mum said, Billy, what about the shadow man?
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. We went on to the Lord Lamb, and we all sort of split up into the building. It's quite a large building, isn't it, Lord Lamb? And I was doing the lab on this balcony, and I had all the cameras set up, and I just stood. I must have been about 5 foot away from this camera, and I can't know what I was doing, but I was setting some piece of equipment up, and just out the corner of my eye, in the doorway, it just went sort of even darker. And I just took a real slight glance, and there was a figure stood in the doorway. So I remember thinking, well, I'm here, sort of thing, the camera's way in front of me, you know, so I'm hoping it would come into the room, whatever this was. Because I thought, if I go for the camera, turn the camera towards it, it's going to disappear before I get there. you know, which unfortunately it did. I thought in the end it's not coming in, you know, and I really want to get whatever this is on camera. And so because a few of us have seen it, we've actually got a date. It's the 30th of this month.
If it happens.
We've tried to get numerous teams to collab with us on it, you know, and go back, you know, and do an investigation into this shadow figure.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. See what you guys can capture next time you guys go up there. Um, but we're right at the end of the show, man. I want to give you guys an opportunity to talk about your social media, your channels, whatever you guys got going on, where people can find you.
Yeah, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, and we're slowly but surely going over to YouTube as well. They've been up for a while now, but
Which is pretty much just the same name that's on the screen now, Urban Nights Paranormal.
Yeah.
The main platform is TikTok at the moment.
Yeah.
So we are more known on TikTok at the minute.
Yeah, guys, I highly recommend them. You guys go check them out. You know, they're going to be doing. They put out a lot of great content. You know, I think you guys will enjoy it. They're very entertaining. They're very good at what they do. What do you guys have coming up next? What's your next investigation?
Well, I'm hoping to get to a bunker from, I believe, the Cold War era. So we're hoping to do that, hopefully at the start of next year.
Oh, nice.
So it's a renowned location for paranormal activity and poltergeist activity as well.
But if the weather holds out, we're going to go try and hit little fruits again, aren't we?
Yeah,
We're going to do some smaller events, aren't we?
we are in the meantime.
You know, we're aiming on some, like I say, larger ones, and you know, more further afield next year. You know, like I say, we're hoping for like Scotland, Wales, and Ireland, aren't we?
Scotland would be like a road trip.
Yeah, because we've got an abandoned mine coming up in Wales. That is, I think is that early next year?
The man.
Yeah.
No.
Am I wrong? Right. Okay. I thought that was early into next year, but no, we've got quite a lot coming up. You know, so hopefully, you know, if people stay tuned,
Yeah.
You know, we'll bring them some more great content. Hopefully.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And like I said, man, hopefully the next year or two, you guys make it here to the United States, man. Shit, it'll be cool to hang out with you. Yeah, man.
We'll definitely be letting you know if that is the case.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, you guys stay in touch, man. If there's anything you guys ever need me to promote for you guys, hit me up, tag me in it. I'll share it for you guys. I have no problem doing that. But once again, man, thanks a lot for doing the show, man. I know it's late where you guys are at, so I really do appreciate it.
We appreciate the opportunity to be on here, man.
It's been an absolute honor.
Cool, man. Cool. And for everyone else, I'll have a show next Monday. I won't have one tomorrow night. That's why I did my show tonight on Sunday. But next Monday, I'll be back on schedule. I don't know who I have on, so you'll have to wait and see, I guess. And you guys hold on real quick. Everybody else, you guys have a great night. And for you people here in the United States, we didn't talk about the black eyed kids. Oh my God, we didn't talk about it. I have to have you guys back on. I'll have you guys back on eventually. But yeah, everybody else here in the United States, you guys have a great evening. And like I said, you guys hold on.